This MMA 30 segment is powered by The Gun Store. Next time you're in Las Vegas, if you want to shoot a real machine gun, do it at The Gun Store at 2900 East Tropicana.
Well, actually, we're at Punishment Training Center. I opened this in 2011 of February, and it was an opportunity to open my own gym where I could train at. I have my clothing company, Punishment Athletics, that's run out here also. So it's kind of a two-in-one. And plus, I put my heart and soul into where I'm at right now, and it came out very beautiful. What does it mean to me to be considered a legend? I don't even think about it. Even solidifying myself as a legend, I still got a lot more stuff to do. I think that legacy of people calling someone a legend is given too freely. You got to do a lot of stuff, not just in a cage as a fighter, but outside the cage, giving back to community, giving back to civilization, or everyone. I think it's just giving back and showing everyone that you're able to get through all types of obstacles in life and be an inspiration in people's lives. That's who you become a legend. Not going in and just putting a fight on, but knowing something outside of the cage in our sport of mixed martial arts, as Muhammad Ali did, and as Hulk Hogan did. And if I could walk any of those guys' footsteps, I know I did myself right as a legend. So I think that time still comes for me. UFC 13, May 30th, 1997. I was a young kid. I was afraid. I wasn't sure what to expect. I just thought in my mind, was prepared for the worst and the best would happen. And in training, I put myself through everything I possibly could. I still had that fear in my heart of just not the fact of losing, but of getting hurt. I didn't want to get hurt. I mean, I wasn't an aggressive guy. I didn't like to fight. Like I grew up fighting all the time. I never did. I mean, I like to wrestle. I loved to compete. I was a competitive person. And when I got my hand raised after UFC 13, it was just that fulfillment of this is something that I love to do. When I first got into mixed martial arts, it wasn't mixed martial arts. This was really about a wrestler versus a kickboxer versus a jiu-jitsu guy. And after our first year and a half into it, you watch the evolution of a sport completely change. I think I got to give credit to one of the guys who made that changing was Frank Shamrock. He was the guy that put in the wrestling, the kickboxing, the jiu-jitsu, and put in the cardio and make it all happen together. I'm lucky to be in the shoes that I am because I watched a sport become from pretty much nothing into one of the biggest sports in the world today. I really look at this as an entertainment value. Going in the cage and fighting was great. Competing against another man was great, getting your hand raised. But what was the next step to be notarized? And I looked at people as Ali, he would talk a bunch of trash before the fight. He would talk trash after the fight. And he was trying to sell the fight. And when I seen these guys do this in their sport, how come I couldn't do it in mixed martial arts? And I did, and I have. I've been doing it over the last 14 years, and I continue to do it. But now I kind of changed my whole attitude of being, not the negative bad boy in me, but being more of the things I've gone through in life of being the people's champ. Low points in my career. My first one would have to go when I got ACL replacement before I fought Vitor Belfort. I thought my career was over. I thought I was done. And I remember Dana walked in the room with me, and him and Lorenzo sat down, and they go, "Tito, you're not fighting." I was like, "What do you mean I'm not fighting? You tore your ACL." And at that point, as being a world champion, I remember in my mind just thinking, the pro athletes who get ACL replacement, they don't come back. And it took about 6 months, but I came back and I fought. And I fought Ken Shamrock the first time. And I mean, I think that was the beginning of my first low point of my career, where I had to show my true heart. I had to show what this fighting really meant to me. When I battled against the UFC, it was a business. It was strictly business, no more than that. I don't have a manager. I know what I want. Maybe me being the bad guy wasn't the smartest idea of the things I did, but coming back and I stood my ground and we got re-signed again. And when I came back and after having loss after loss after loss, I think 4 losses in a row, before I fought Bader, my back was against the wall, and I had nothing to survive besides what is in front of me to do, and that is to win. And I focused, and when I stepped in the cage, and I remember looking over at Bader, and I saw the fear in his eyes, and hitting him with a shot, and grabbing the guillotine, and squeezing the guillotine, and all I felt like at that time was an animal. I'm not letting go of my meat right now. This is my food. I'm holding on to this, and the referee went to go pull me off, and I swear I was not letting go. And then finally he pulled me off, and I was like, that feeling right there was better than any world champion ever won. Some of the greatest MMA fighters ever. Royce Gracie would have to be one of the greatest, just because he really put our sport on the map. Randy Couture is another man who I really look up to a lot. We started our same careers at the same night, UFC 13, May 30th, 1987. He fought in the heavyweight tournament. I fought in the lightweight tournament. And it's just funny to see, and someone I look up to like that, of doing as much as he did. My name, I think, is up on the top, 3 of the world, or 3 in the world of mixed martial arts at East. I've done so much. Liddell's another big name. Couture being retired, Liddell being retired, I'm pretty much the last one standing. What do I want my legacy to be when I'm done fighting? I want to be known as one of the greatest, not just as a fighter, but as a businessman and as a legend of the sport, an icon of the sport. It's for the fighters, by the fighters. That's why I do it.